Story title: The Bridge Between Us. Story, English. Approximately 1,200 words. Two houses stood on opposite sides of a small river in the countryside. Between them stretched an old wooden bridge that creaked whenever someone crossed. For years, that bridge had connected two brothers, Aaron and Jacob. They had inherited their father's farm together, worked side by side, and shared every meal. Until one day, everything fell apart. It started with a small argument over land boundaries. But pride turned small words into sharp ones, and by sunset, the brothers weren't speaking. The next morning, Aaron found that Jacob had built a fence right through the field. "So that's how it is," Aaron muttered. Fine. For months, they lived like strangers, separated not by distance, but by stubbornness. The bridge that once echoed with laughter grew quiet, covered in dust and weeds. One day, a carpenter passed through the village looking for work. He knocked on Aaron's door. "Do you have anything I can build or fix?" Aaron thought for a moment, his jaw tight. "Yes," he said finally. "I want you to build me a wall between my land and my brothers. I don't want to see his face again." The carpenter nodded slowly. "I understand." He spent the next few days working quietly. Aaron checked on him once or twice but couldn't tell what he was building. The boards stood high, the hammering constant. After 3 days, the carpenter said, "It's done." Aaron stepped outside and froze. Instead of a wall, a new bridge stretched across the river, shining in the sunlight. Before Aaron could speak, he saw Jacob walking toward him from the other side. Jacob's eyes were red. "Brother," he said, "I can't believe you built this after everything I said to you." Aaron's throat tightened. "I didn't build it," he admitted softly. Jacob smiled through tears. "Maybe not with your hands, but maybe with your heart." The two stood there silently for a moment, the sound of the river murmuring beneath their feet. Then Aaron stepped forward and opened his arms. "It's been too long, Jacob." They embraced. The carpenter began packing his tools. Aaron called out, "Wait! We owe you for this. You built peace where there was none." The carpenter smiled gently. "No payment needed. I only build what people truly need, and sometimes they need a bridge more than a wall." And with that, he walked down the road, disappearing into the horizon. Months passed. The brothers worked together again, their laughter echoing across the fields like before. The new bridge became a symbol in the village. Whenever neighbors fought, they would say, "Remember the brothers' bridge." One autumn evening, Aaron stood on the bridge watching the sunset reflect off the water. He turned to Jacob and said quietly, "Funny, isn't it? We spent so long holding on to anger, thinking it made us strong." Jacob nodded. "But forgiveness, that's what truly builds." They stood there until the stars appeared, their hearts lighter than they had been in years. Years later, after both brothers had grown old, children in the village still played on that bridge. They would ask their parents, "Who built this?" And the answer was always the same: a man who knew that walls divide but bridges heal. Moral of the story: forgiveness doesn't change the past, but it rebuilds the path forward. Holding on to anger builds walls. Letting go builds bridges.